welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get rolling, just want to give a couple quick shout outs to some sponsors. First, we're going to start off with Golfer CBD. Make sure you check out golfercbd.com, Golfer CBD USA on Instagram. What Golfer CBD is all about. Bunch of different things they have. This week, I'm gonna highlight the spray, the oral spray, the performance spray. This is something I'm really interested in. I haven't really tried this before, but looking to get into it. So the spray is one of the strongest available on the market, delivering 30 milligrams of CBD and 30 milligrams of CBG with each application. And with 200 applications in a 30 milliliter spray bottle, Golfer's CBD Performance Spray delivers exceptional value to the dedicated golfer. So make sure you check these guys out, golfercbd.com. Use promo code PPP10 for 10% off. Definitely, they're supporting us, so make sure you support them. As well as 420 Bliss, one of our longest sponsors. Check out 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road in Troy, New York, right up in the Walmart Plaza. Make sure you stop in there, check them out. Everything you're looking for in the cannabis industry. You got flowers, pre-rolls, edibles, tinctures, vapes, disposable vapes, the cartridges. You name it, they have it. They have the drinks up there. So stop in there, check them out. If you don't feel like leaving the house, go on the website, 420bliss.com. They have a delivery service. So log in, pick out what you want, and they'll bring it right to you. You don't even have to get off the couch. So shout out to them over there at 420. As well as Trouble Off the Tee. Shout out Marty and the crew. Make sure you check out the book on Spotify. Written by Marty Minden, narrated by Jake Adams from Country Club Adjacent. TroubleOffTheTee.com. Bunch of different options on there, from hats, polos, quarter zips. Use promo code RGB for 15% off, as well as promo code PUFF for a limited time on the buy one, get one free on the polos. Make sure you take advantage of that. Bunch of different options on the polos. So make sure you jump on there. Use promo code PUFF for buy one, get one free. But tonight we're going to talk about some tools you can use on the putting greens for some practice. We're going to get into some precision tunnel putting. Let's get this rolling. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and I'll be back with our guest just after this quick break. Thank you. Welcome back to the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. I'd love to introduce our guest. We got Rob from Precision Tunnel. Rob, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into golf?
Well, I started golfing. I was probably about 10 years old. I had a rich friend of mine back when I was, a kid, and he was golfing, and he asked me to come play with him, and I got hooked back then. So I played a few years when I was young, like 10 to 13-ish. He and I would go out on the course, and then once I got into high school, stopped playing golf. Back then, hell, you're talking like 30-some years ago. When you get into high school, it was baseball and football. That's what we focused on. And, back then golf wasn't cool. Unlike today, where like everybody's playing golf, and the cool kids are playing golf. Back then, you didn't play golf when you're in high school. So it was baseball and football back then. And I didn't get back into golf until, I was probably 25 years old. Started working for this brother team, these two guys, these two brothers, and they were big golfers. And anytime we had a break on the job site, we'd go out and hit some golf balls, and they kind of got me hooked. So I've been playing pretty steady for the past 30 years, I guess. So
Nice. Yeah, I never really got into it when I was a kid. I played a couple times in high school. My biggest challenge was, I was a baseball player, and I was a lefty, so I had no lefty clubs. So I was always using righty clubs. Even now, I've taught myself over the past 7 years how to play right-handed. So it was a big challenge. I'd say really it was a good 5 years until I felt comfortable actually swinging the club and doing what I like, having some power behind it and having some sort of technique to where I didn't feel like I was just out there swinging and hoping for the best kind of thing.
That's awesome. So do you play? Which side do you play from right now? You right?
I play from the right, but if you handed me a left-handed golf club, I couldn't swing it as a golf club. But as a baseball bat, I'll swing it fine. As a golf club, I can't swing it normal.
That's interesting. My brother is right-handed. My dad is left-handed. Does everything left-handed. But my brother kind of got mixed. He's like you. He kind of got mixed up.
Yeah.
So playing baseball, he bats from the left side, and the dude crushes a baseball. But he catches and throws right-handed.
Me too. Yep.
And golf-wise, when he started playing golf a few years ago with me, he's still undecided. Some of the clubs he brings are right-handed clubs. He likes to chip and putt left-handed, so he'll bring out right-handed irons, but chip and putt left-handed. It's the craziest thing ever, man. Absolutely crazy.
I can putt left-handed. I'm comfortable with a left-handed putter for sure. But that's really about it. But that's more of just like a touch thing anyway. So,
right.
But trying to swing, my buddy I played with the other day, he had the left-handed clubs, and I was like, let me swing that, and it was the most awkward thing. But when I swung it like a baseball bat, it was absolutely fine. So I don't know. It was absolutely crazy.
That is crazy, man. That's crazy.
But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the about your Precision Tunnels and the brand and what it's all about, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, one of the weakest parts of my game was putting. Last year, it actually was so bad that I was watching some YouTube videos last year, and I saw Micah Morris. I was watching one of his videos, and he went to a club fitter, guy by the name of Jake Medlin, down at Stripe Show Club Fitters down in Dallas, and he did a whole video on him getting fitted for his clubs, primarily a putter down there, and he had this huge, this big ordeal about Micah getting this his putter fitted, and my putting was absolutely horrible. And I thought, man, let's give that a try, So I actually flew down to Dallas last year, made an appointment with Jake Medlin down at Stripe Show, and spent 2 hours with him getting fitted for a putter. I mean, who does that? Who flies to Dallas out of, I'm here in Colorado, flew to Dallas, spent the weekend down there, had a 2-hour session with Jake down there. It was absolutely terrific. He uses the Quintec putting system down there, and I think it measures like 46 different parameters with your putting. So I mean, he's just printing out all of this data, and we're looking at all of these numbers, and we're trying all of these different heads. And 2 hours into it, we finally settled on a putter and the shaft. We tried all of these different shafts and different shaft sizes. He bent the putter different angles, all of this. So 2 hours into it, finally walked out of there with the putter, came back home, and made a decision that I needed to start getting better putting.
Yeah.
Gotta excuse the dogs.
All good, man.
My God.
It's all good.
So I have a CNC machine. Are you familiar with what a CNC machine is?
No.
So it's basically kind of a cutter, a robotic cutter. You program, design whatever you want on your computer, send it to your cutter, put your material down on the workstation, clamp it down, and then the machine, you put an end mill in there. Basically, for lack of a better term, almost kind of like a drill bit, a cutting drill bit, and the machine actually starts cutting out whatever you've designed. Huh. So after I got back from Dallas, I have this CNC machine that I kind of play around with, and I designed the Precision Tunnel. I figured I need something to help me start my ball on the line, on the correct line.
Yep.
So I came up with the idea of creating this little tunnel, right, that the ball would be putted through. And these dogs, if you want, we can take a quick break, and I can deal with these dogs. I can give them a bone.
Yeah, I got you. I'll do it real quick. We'll
Okay.
take a quick break. We'll be right back. Yeah, you were just talking about how you started designing the tunnels.
I did, right. So I came up with the idea of this tunnel, and I created it on my laptop. I designed it on my laptop. Basically, it's a tunnel made out of wood, and the tunnel is about a quarter of an inch wider than the golf ball. So you got about an eighth of an inch on either side of the golf ball, and you just have to put your ball through this precise tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hence the name Precision Tunnel. And the cool thing about it's made out of wood. So we do complete engraving on that, so we can personalize it with your logo, with names, with a little saying, "Happy birthday, Dad! Love the kids." Whatever you want on it.
Right.
I can engrave on the Precision Tunnel, and it. Again, you set it up about, you start out maybe 12 inches away from your ball, from your starting point, and just start your ball on the correct line, and it'll go through the hole.
Yeah.
And then if you want to make it a little harder, so maybe you put 5 balls through the hole there, maybe push it back another 3 inches.
Yeah.
And regardless of what my wife says, 3 inches makes a huge difference. I mean, that is, I was done too. Moving back 3 inches is a lot harder. So, putt through it, get that grooved, move it back a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's not something that you want to set up 20 feet away. That would be kind of like if you watch hockey, at when they would bring out a fan to try to hit a hockey puck from one end of the rink to the other,
Right.
through this little itty bitty hole
Right.
that they've got the plywood up against the net there. That's kind of what it would be like if you set it that far out. But to groove your putting, start it online and get it going through that tunnel. So you have to be pretty precise, and again, that's why we come up with the name Precision Tunnel, because you have to be pretty precise. You got a quarter of an inch total, eighth of an inch on each side to get that ball through. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I did that last year after I got back from Dallas. I made me one. I started using it, and with the new putter and the Precision Tunnel, my putting just it really I took it to the next level.
Nice.
I started getting a lot better, and my buddies, my playing partners, they all kind of witnessed the change in my putting, and they saw me using the Precision Tunnel, and every one of them were like, "Oh my gosh, dude, that is so cool! That's such a cool thing. Make me one, make me one." So of course, I'm making one for all my buddies,
Yeah.
and then the next thing out of their mouth is, "Man, you should start selling this. This is great. This is great." And there are a couple of other products out there that are like a plastic tunnel that you have to put a ball through.
Sure.
So it's nothing new. The cool thing about my Precision Tunnel, is the personalization. Right? It is made out of wood. You're able to engrave it. It's got a nice. We put a nice stain on it, a nice polyurethane coating on top of it. It's laser engraved. It's personalized for everybody, and it really helps out. So yeah, it's a cool gig.
It really is cool, because when I seen it, so like my biggest struggle on the putting green is when I have those like 5 to 8 footers,
Right.
I instantly, I'm pushing either left to right depending on where the break is. I'm overcompensating or whatever the case may be. So I see, literally, I was scrolling Instagram and I came across your page, and I was like, and I started watching some of the videos. I'm like, this is like literally for me, for my struggles right now, this is like the greatest thing ever, because of now it's going to force me to keep it in a perfect line. Pretty much, you don't really have a choice. You have to
Absolutely.
be so precise. But like the longer putts, like like you said, it's like a hockey thing, 100%. I literally was picturing that in my head as you were giving the example.
Right.
So like it really is going to tighten up anybody's short game on the green.
Absolutely.
From any distance.
Right. With every putt, even if you're hitting a 30-foot putt with 6 feet of break, ultimately it starts out on a straight line. Right.
Yeah.
We're hitting it maybe 18 inches in front of us to a specific point. And
Yep.
after it crosses that point, it's then going to do what it does. But we have to get the ball started online, and that's what this product does. It teaches you to get that ball rolling and started on that intended line. So once we
Yep.
hit our line, putts start falling, which is great.
And that's something like up here in upstate New York in the wintertime when all we have is our putting greens, thrown down in our basement or in our man caves or whatever.
Right.
Something to really, get the practice down as opposed to just hitting the thing up into the little cup or whatever. You're actually getting another target to aim at and really tighten up the game.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, once I seen it, I was like, I reached out and I was like, I got to talk to you and see how this was all came about.
No, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Again, last year it got to the point where my putting was absolutely horrible, and flying to Dallas and getting the new putter fitted, and then coming back and saying, you know what, the new putter is great, and it's really going to help, and it's going to correct a lot of issues that I had. I actually would close the club face, my putter, at impact, and I would pull everything to the left. So having a properly fit putter really helped with a lot of that, but I still have to hit the putt, right?
Yep.
I have to hit that putt, and I needed to groove that putting. And that's, unfortunately, putting is an area that a lot of people neglect. They don't spend a lot of time. And, I was one of them. You go out to the driving range and you see everybody before they start the round. You see a lot of golfers before they start the round. They'll run up to the driving range, hit 10, 15 balls, run over to the putting green, hit 2 putts, and then go off to the first tee. I mean, you see that all the time. And that's just, and then they wonder why they're shooting, 104. So, yeah.
The course we play at too, they just the greens are extremely firm, extremely undulated. So you see, we don't have a driving range there. It's the one downside about my home course. It's kind of like in a neighborhood, so there's really not a place to put it. Unfortunately, I mean there is, but the city never will, because there's some nice fancy houses where they could put it. If someone shanks one left, it's going to be some damage done. So. But you'll see people there practicing on the greens, and sometimes like I never really started doing that until this year, where I get there like an extra half hour, 20 minutes, and actually practice putting. Before I still do it sometimes when I'm coming from work or whatnot. I hop out of the car, changing in the parking lot, and jumping in the cart and going. But there's the days when I can get there early and practice. I'll sit there for 20 minutes and try to hit an uphill putt, a putt that's going to break left, a putt that's going to break right, try to gain the speeds. And I'm telling you, I was shooting consistently in the mid 90s last year, and now I've been consistently in the mid to low 80s for the start of the year. And it's strokes around, it's on the putts. It's all putting.
Absolutely.
It's all putting.
Yeah. For me, the putting has really, really helped my game. Right now, I am struggling off the tee with a driver. I mean, oh Lord, that's
me too.
Worst. Oh,
that's why I got him as a sponsor. Trouble off the tee.
There you go, man.
I'm not kidding, man. It's tough.
It is, and I absolutely, because I created the Precision Tunnel. I am all about putting, and I really believe that's where you're going to save a lot of strokes. But you also have got to get off the tee box. You've got to be long and you got to be straight. Because if you're 300 yards in the middle of the fairway, hitting a pitching wedge into a green is a hell of a lot easier than being, 200 yards out in the crap. You know?
Oh yeah.
So it makes golf so much easier to hit it long and hit it straight off the tee.
Yep.
So that's where I'm struggling right now.
Me too, man. I can't quite figure it out. I'm either snap hooking everything left, or I'm overcompensating, and I'm kind of just floating everything out to the right side. It's going straight, but it's just right off the tee going that way. So I got to find that happy medium. And
I've been fortunate my entire life. I've been a drawer of the golf ball, right? So I've had a natural inside out swing path. I get the club face. When I get the club face back to square, or even, slightly open or slightly closed, I get a nice little draw on it. I get into trouble when I really start closing down that face at impact, and then
Yep.
that's when those snap hooks come, man.
Yeah.
I can snap hook it like
Uh,
nobody's business.
it's a
And
killer,
it comes
man.
from, oh yeah, and it comes from just that, really, really strong inside to out swing path, and then closing that club face down. And those two, that X factor right there, just
Yep.
I will snap hook it off the planet. So
I close that club face down a lot. I've been trying to emphasize leaving it open, but then I'm starting to hit a lot of pop ups, and I'm just not hitting it clean, or I'm teeing it up a little higher and trying to go that route. And I have to go. I have to spend a day at the range just with the driver, hit a bucket, and try to really get a rhythm and figure out what I'm doing.
yeah, absolutely.
One question I wanted to ask you before I got into the last couple questions was when you got that putter custom made, how many when he went into the detail of what he was doing, were you amazed by how in depth they went on like making the putter?
Oh my gosh! It was amazing. It was such an amazing experience. Like I said, it was about 2 hours long from start to finish. And this Quintec putting system that he has, it's a high-speed camera system. You put these reflective stickers on there. So unlike some of the other putting systems that some of these fitters use, where they actually have things that are attached to the shaft.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't change. It's not going to change the weight of your putter. You're not going to feel any different. It's got these lightweight little reflective stickers that are placed in a couple of spots on your putter. And man, for 2 hours we just sat there, just hitting balls. Obviously we started with my putter. I got my base numbers from my putter, and then we just started going through all the different heads that he had there, and trying to narrow it down. And like I said, I had a tendency to close the face a lot at impact,
Mm-hmm.
which would get everything going to the left. So the first thing was trying to find a putter head that that I would come in square, or as square as I possibly could. Once we narrowed it down to the head, then we started working on the shaft, figuring out the different shafts that were out there, and trying to figure out which shaft would be best for me. And then we started looking at the height or the length of the shaft.
Yeah.
Then he started cutting things down. And then my putter is the Odyssey. It's the what is it? 2-lane? Yeah.
Okay.
Odyssey 2. Yeah. 2-lane? Is that the guy's name? I'm not a.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. But it's the Las Vegas edition. It's an Odyssey putter.
Okay.
And so we got, I mean, even the grip, the grip, we custom fit the grip to me. And it was an amazing experience. He was printing out all the data, and it was looking at like 46 different areas, and all of these numbers were up there. I'm a huge number guy. I have a simulator here at home, and I love data.
Yeah.
I love looking at that. But man, it was overwhelming.
That's crazy.
So it was great to have somebody. It was great to have somebody that knew what they were doing.
Right.
And I tell you,
so many things go into it that you don't even think of.
Yeah, and again, how many people actually get their putters fitted?
Right.
I would say a very, very small percentage of golfers actually have a fitted putter. And I would say, you can even take that a step further. How many golfers are out actually getting clubs, their irons or their drivers, or their 3-woods or fairway woods, or their wedges fitted for them, right? I mean, I think it's so important to actually spend the time with a qualified club fitter and get everything fitted in your bag. I mean, I've got in my bag, every single one of my clubs is fitted for my swing, right?
Yeah.
And it just, it gives me the confidence to know that the clubs, if I hit a shitty shot, it's not the club's fault. It's 100% me.
Yeah, you're the second. So my one buddy I play with all the time was telling me, he's like, you just got to get fitted for a set. Just go get fitted. Just go. Because I'm using some M6 TaylorMade irons I got from a buddy. This is the first year I'm actually using them, and I'm hitting them really well. Like I added about 10 yards to 15 yards to every club. There's certain, like sometimes I hit my 7-iron. I hit it the other day almost over 200 yards. I used to be my 150 club.
Monster. Dude, that's monster.
It's crazy. And like, I'll even hit it and go to myself and like look and make sure it wasn't like my 5-iron, because I'm like, did that really just do that? Like, I hit it clean and flush. That's my club though. That's
And you're
my
at sea
club.
level, right? You're at sea level.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's crazy. That
Yeah.
is huge, huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I hit a 7-iron. That's about what I would hit a 7-iron up here. But I'm in Denver. I mean, hell, the course I play is, 6,500 feet above sea level.
Oh
I
yeah. So you got that nice
I got
light
some
air.
thin, I got some thin air, man. So hitting a 7-iron, 200 yards is nothing for me up here. But to hit it sea level, a 7-iron, 200 yards, dude, that's impressive.
Yeah, I was impressed myself. I mean, it's not an every time thing, but the one time I needed to crank it, I was actually just trying to hit it low. It was a windy day, and I was trying to hit it low and just kind of let it roll. And this bad boy carried like 175. I got a nice bounce out, and I was like 5 to 8 feet away from the pin, and I was like, wow.
That's awesome.
Because I had a shitty tee shot, so I was short, and I had to crank it. So that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think your buddy is absolutely right. I think if you got fitted for those clubs, even though you like your clubs and you're hitting those clubs well, I think you could shave off a few strokes by going to get fitted. And one other recommendation that I would throw out there is go in there to your club fitter with an open mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to play pings for I don't know, the past 28 years. I played pings. So every time I needed a new set of clubs, I would just go in. I need a new set of pings. I need a new set of pings.
Yeah.
This time, I actually went into the club fitter and I was like, listen, ping doesn't pay me. I'm a hack just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Ping doesn't pay me to play their clubs. Why in the hell am I playing these ping clubs when there might be something else out there that is better for me? So we started just hitting all the different clubs out there, the Titleists and the Callaways and the TaylorMades and the Mizunos and all of these clubs, because I kept an open mind. And ultimately, I settled on the Callaway Apex 21s.
Okay.
And they were just, again, I'm a numbers guy, so I love seeing, the dispersion charts. I love seeing my trajectories and the backspin and the angle of descent and the just all of those numbers. It's absolutely amazing to see and to get these dialed in, and then to change your shafts, to try to get your shafts married up with the clubs to try to maximize what you're getting out of that iron head it's awesome. It's awesome. So it's an amazing experience. I would highly recommend doing that.
He pretty much said the same thing you did. He literally said the same thing. He goes, you're going to definitely shave a couple strokes off your game. He goes, you're going to add a couple more yards to each one of these shots. And I'm like, man, literally, you guys were almost word for word. But
100%.
in that bag you got, my 3 questions is, what's your favorite club you got in that bag?
Because I'm so shitty off the tee with my driver, I hit my 3-iron really far off the tee. So you give me a 3-iron off the tee, and up here at this altitude, I'm hitting at 250, 255. Nice. So I love my 3-iron off the tee, but give me a wedge around the green, and I think I'm Phil Mickelson. I mean, just. I love it. So give me a wedge, give me a lob wedge, my 60-degree.
You a flop shot guy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I could hit my approach shot short of the green, just off the front fringe to a back middle pin, and I'll still flop it. I'll still flop it, even though the correct shot would be to take like a pitch and wedge or a gap wedge or even your sand wedge and kind of keep it nice and low and just let it roll up there. No, hell no. I'm going to flop that shit up there.
That's the same. So my buddies, we have one hole where it's the 8th hole. It's sloped left to right. And for whatever reason, I always pull it left. And they'll always, every single time, like, here he goes. You're going to think he's Phil Mickelson. But I consistently flop it right on the fringe, let it roll down to the green. And Absolutely. It stays on the green opposed to rolling 15 feet off of the green because how much momentum it catches on the hill.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite shots. I absolutely love it. I love chipping. I love chipping. So, I was actually at the course yesterday and it was great. I was there with a buddy of mine and, we picked a flag and we pulled out 4 different clubs, and we would hit the same shot with 4 different clubs to the same pin, right? And we would try to so we would do that. We would try to change our trajectories as well. Try to hit something in high, a little mid, and then a little low.
Yeah.
So I love chipping around the green. So I guess if you ask me what my absolute favorite club is, it's probably my 60 degree.
Okay.
I absolutely love that.
And what's your favorite course you ever played?
You know, I played Sanctuary out here. You familiar with that?
No.
Google it. It's I think it's owned by the guy that started Remax, and
Okay.
it's not it's you can only play that through charity donations. He gives away a certain amount of rounds throughout the course of the year to charities, and then they auction those rounds off. So it's a very, very elite course out here to play. So yeah, Google Sanctuary Golf Course in Colorado. Really cool course. That's probably one of the best courses that I played. Unfortunately, I played that years ago before I truly appreciated golf and actually got good at golf.
Yeah.
So I probably hacked the shit out of that golf course.
They're still fixing your divots out there.
They're still out there repairing some of my stuff. But Vegas. I love going to Vegas. Love playing some of the courses out there in Vegas. One of my favorite courses that I used to play years ago, and they closed it down, with Badlands Golf Course out in Las Vegas. Rio Seco Golf Course out in Vegas, where Butch Harmon's at.
Okay.
Love Rio Seco out there in Vegas. All of the Vegas courses are just absolutely terrific. So
nice.
But you Google Sanctuary Golf Course out here in Denver. Get the whole story on it. It's a pretty cool golf course.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And then what's one thing you want to improve on this season? I mean, your season's a little bit different, 24 or 365. But what's one thing you want to improve on the course this year?
Yeah, I have got to get better with my driver. I hit the shit out of my driver. Again, up here with thin air. So many people, you ask so many people, especially like on social media, everybody will tell you they hit it 300 yards all the time, right? Up here at 6,500 feet, 7,500 feet, hitting something 300 yards, it's still a poke, but it's really not that big of a swing. My club head speed with my driver is probably somewhere around 106, 107, just swinging normal. My ball speed is probably somewhere around 158, 59, 60, 160-ish.
Okay. Yeah.
So, 300 yards up here is not that big of a deal. But I'm 300 yards, duck hook to the left, or 300 yards, push to the right in the shed. I have got to get better, because that, for me, I have really focused on my putting and chipping, and I've really got those dialed in. And if I can hit the ball 300 yards off the tee in the middle of the fairway and be left in with a sand wedge for my approach shot, it just makes golf so much easier, right?
It really does.
As opposed to having a 200-yard approach shot from the shit. It's just horrible. Yep. So that's really what I need to. That's what I'm focusing on. And it's just.
Yeah, that's kind of my answer, was my putting and my chipping and putting, but like I've actually put in time and practiced that, where I've seen a major improvement. Now I see so much of my troubles off the tee that I really have to put some time into getting this straightened out, because once I do, I think I can. I've been under 80 3 times in my life, so I want to get back there. So that's where I want to be. I like, my goal every time I show up to the course is an 85. If I can shoot an 85, I'm a happy camper.
No, that's respectable. That's respectable. For me, the driver, it's not so much swing mechanics, because like I said earlier, I got a simulator here in my house. I've got a SkyTrack simulator. So I'm on my simulator. I'm videotaping my swing all the time. I'm really, again, being a numbers guy, I'm really looking at everything. I'm drawing lines on the video and looking at everything and checking angles. And so mechanically, I know my swing is solid.
Mm-hmm.
The problem that I have is up here.
Yeah.
And it is such, I'm such a freaking head case when I pull out the driver. And I really, for me, I need to go see a sports psychologist. I think that's where it's going to fix my swing. It's not the lessons. It's, I've spent thousands of dollars on lessons, and, I
Yeah.
got the simulator downstairs, and I know my swing inside and out. It's really the issue with me and my driver is right here.
Right up top. That's where I think it's starting to get for me too. Just because I'm thinking about doing weight. I'm thinking about too much when I'm up there. I got to just walk up and hit it.
Dude, I'm serious. I need to contact Dr. Bob Rotella, the sports psychologist.
Yeah.
I need to get a session with him, man,
No
because
doubt.
it just, I'm a mental game with my driver. I mean, it got to the point where my driver, and it wasn't anything else, no other clubs. My driver, I would start taking it back, and I'd get to the top of my backswing with my driver, and I couldn't stop my backswing. It just kept going and going and going. Unlike my irons, everything was perfect with my irons. Everything was great. You throw a driver on my hand for whatever reason. Actually, I think I know what the reason is. I think it all comes down to just wanting to just crush the golf ball and hit the shit out of it, and outdrive all of my buddies.
Yep.
And it just kept going. Backswing just kept getting longer and longer and longer. And I could see the club head out of the corner of my left eye. And as soon as I would see the club head, gone.
You knew it wasn't going to be a good shot. Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah. I knew it. It was so screwed. So,
yep.
Yeah. So
same thing, man.
Then it got to the point to where I tried to shorten it up, right? Make a conscious effort to try to shorten it up. And I would get to the top and I would be short at the top. And then I would freeze. I literally would freeze at the top of my backswing, and I couldn't pull the trigger. I couldn't start the downswing. I would be frozen. And then
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, exactly. Or I would do the Tiger Woods where I would like start down, or the Barkley where you'd start down and just be like, this shit is not right. It's not even close to being right. Yep. And then I would stop and then have to back away. And yeah, it was.
Yeah, my biggest is my backswing is too fast. I'm way too quick off of the club, so I started slowing that down, and I went on a nice stretch. And that's the thing; it's just really the consistency. Some weeks, like I might show up tomorrow and be hitting greens, hitting fairways all day, or I might be showing up and all right, how am I going to recover from this shot to save the hole, kind of thing. And that's really depends on the day. It's so crazy. It really is nuts. But Rob, I really appreciate your time, man, coming on. I'm really I'm going to be looking into it, getting a nice little custom precision tunnel with the logo.
Absolutely. I'll send you one out. Absolutely. We'll get it engraved up. And all your listeners, check it out.
Where can they find you?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram. Look up Precision Tunnel on Instagram. I've got an Etsy shop out there. That's where I kind of got everything set up. So go to Etsy and you can look up Crafty Carvings Denver. I've got a few other items on there as well. But look up Crafty Carvings Denver at Etsy. Look me up on Instagram at Precision Tunnel. And maybe we can throw out a discount code for all of your listeners and awesome. Get them a discount to come on out and get a Precision Tunnel. Like I said, it's personalized. Get anything you want engraved on it. Makes a great Father's Day gift, great Mother's Day gift, great gift for that golfer and your family. So
Father's Day's coming up. Absolutely. Rob, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for jumping on, and we'll talk soon, man. I'll be in touch.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much.
No problem. Take care. Really dope of Rob jumping on the Precision Tunnel. Make sure you check them out on Instagram, precision_tunnel. Really cool little setup. Definitely help you with the putting, especially for the guys who you're pushing, guys and gals who you're pushing left or right off the rip. Get that straightened out. Definitely make a big difference for you. But before we wrap this up, just want to give a couple more shout outs to the sponsors. Once again, Golfers CBD USA. Golfers CBD USA has the Performance Spray. So make sure you check this out. The Performance Spray is one of the strongest available on the market, delivering 30 milligrams of CBD and 30 milligrams of CBG with each application. And with 200 applications in each spray bottle, Golfers CBD Performance Spray delivers exceptional value to the dedicated golfer. So make sure you check them out, golfercbd.com. use promo code PPP10 for 10% off. Like I said, they have the creams, they have the gummies, they have the, let's see here, this one here is the performance cream, the performance cream, as well as the recovery cream. So check these out. They smell nice and clean. You don't have any, crazy smells, anything like that. Just all natural, all made and manufactured in the USA. Let's see here. Yep, just a little bit of like a tincture spray. So golferscbd.com, Golfers CBD USA on Instagram, as well as don't forget to check out 420 Bliss at 740 Hoosick Road, Detroit, New York, right in the Walmart Plaza. Make sure you check them out. They have the pre-rolls, the flower, edibles, tinctures, vapes, you name it, they got it. And once again, Trouble Off the Tee, TroubleOffTheTee.com. Use promo code RGB for 15% off. And then you got the buy one, get one free offer on the polos. So use promo code PUFF. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with the preview for week 6 of the Pitch Putt and Puff. Big matchup to talk about for our Friday. Me and Bub battling it out Friday afternoon, Freer Park. We're going to go Instagram live with that. So make sure, I'm going to have us mic'd up the whole 9 yards. So make sure you tune into that. Appreciate everybody tuning in here to the Pitch Putt and Puff. Later.